Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to do a full face of Physicians Formula. I recently ordered a bunch of Physicians Formula items from iherb. The primer of choice today is the Spotlight Illuminating Base Primer. It says on the website that it helps with brightening your skin, making it look flawless, getting rid of redness as well as create that glow. Luckily for me today, my skin is doing a lot better compared to my previous videos. So I don't have a lot of like textures, only a little bit of redness and scarring. It looks a lot bigger than when I saw it from the website. And it comes with a pump, which is really nice. This is what the product looks like. It smells very clean. It also says that it can blur imperfections right off the bat. It just feels like a good moisturizer on my skin. And it definitely added a nice glow. Oh wow. It actually toned down the redness of my eczema patch. Surprisingly enough. It doesn't accentuate any textures, and so I'm just gonna apply my foundation, concealer, and powder off camera, and I will come back with you to apply the rest of my face. This is the most talked bronzer in YouTube at the moment, and apparently it's one of the best drugstore bronzers out there. So this is the Butter Bronzer, and I got the shade Deep Bronzer. I'm not sure how many shades there are based on what I've seen. I think there's only 3 available on iHerb, and this is what it looks like. And that's the bronzer right there. It has a little bit of sheen and it smells amazing, and it comes with this weird sponge looking applicator, which I'm not really into, but oh my god, it smells so good. And hopefully it shows up on my skin. It's quite light, but I feel like it's going to be buildable. Ooh, it's quite pigmented, and I love the fact that it's not powdery. So I'm going to start off on this side right here. Wow, it's very natural, and I find that you can build this up and it won't look very orange. It actually gives a nice warmth to my skin without being it too warm, because sometimes I find that the MAC mineralized skin finish powder in Dark Deepest that I normally use to bronze, it's very warm that it makes me look orange almost, whereas this one right here, it's quite warm but it has more of a neutral undertone, which I could definitely like go ham in applying, but it's not gonna make me look oompa loompa looking. So I'm going to go bring that a little bit into my cheeks and then to my nose a little bit to have that sun-kissed glow. And also my face is looking a little bit too pale as well, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit more. It definitely lived up to the hype. I can't stop applying. I just want to apply more because it doesn't cake up, glides on the skin. Oh my gosh, I'm so obsessed. I love this bronzer. Unfortunately, I don't have any blush, so I'm just gonna apply whatever blush I have on hand, and we're going to quickly move on to the highlighter. I was actually going to purchase the blush within the Butter Formula range from Physicians Formula, but I looked at the shades they had and it's quite too pale for my skin tone at the moment, so I skipped out on that. Instead, I purchased the Butter highlighter, and this one is in the shade Champagne, and it's a nice gold highlight. It surprisingly looks a lot bigger than what I imagined it would look like. So this is what the highlighter looks like. Comes in a twist up tab, and that's it right there. Again, it smells like butter, and oh my gosh, look at that highlight. And it's so smooth to the touch. So this is going to be really pigmented, so I'm just gonna lightly tap. Again, it doesn't have any fallout. I have a dry patch in here from my eczema, and it doesn't accentuate any of the dry patch that I have at all. It glides on very smoothly on the skin. It does have a little bit of specks of glitter, but it's nothing that will actually stop me from wearing this highlighter. This highlighter is amazing. I'm glad that I picked it up. There's two different kinds of eyeshadow palette from the Butter Formula collection, and I picked up the Sultry Nights palette, and this is what it looks like. Honestly, I was expecting this to look a lot smaller, maybe like CoverGirl eyeshadow size, but I was shocked when I saw that it's actually quite big. It's almost as big as my face. And I picked it up mainly because of that plummy purple right there, and also that green, and you also have the blue. So what I love about this eyeshadow is that it's split into 3 different quads. So you have more of like a daytime, and then more of like a smoky, and then you can elevate that and make it into like a cool tone look. And also at the back, it gives you instructions. It also comes with a dual sponge, which honestly I don't use. This is great for packing shimmers, but I never know how to wash this, so I always end up chucking it in the bin. So in this eyeshadow palette, you actually have 4 mattes. You have this one right here, which I would say this is a little bit more satin because it has a little bit of shimmer. And then you have this 2 mattes right here, and then the black, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 metallics and 1 kind of like pressed on glitter, and then you have like a sheen in here. It's very soft to the touch and it's quite pigmented. Actually, that top right there comes off more matte. So here is the swatches. Honestly, it's very pigmented. Now I am going to swatch this right here. Oh my god, that's so pretty. And then we have that shade and this shade right here. Wow. So the shimmers and metallics on the other hand is very pigmented. I am going to start off with this shade right here just to set my lids. I've already set it with a translucent powder, but I wanted to go over it with this eyeshadow palette to see the pigmentation. This has a little bit of kickback, so make sure you tap the excess. Oh, it does have a little bit of sheen, but it adds brightness to the lids. I am going to pick up this shade right here for my first transition. This eyeshadow palette has got a little bit of a kickback, so just be careful, but it's nothing that bothers me too much. This eyeshadow is so buttery, it blends smoothly, and it's very pigmented, and it's also buildable as well. It's actually the type of shade that I prefer when it comes to transition. It's not too warm and it's not too cool toned, it's somewhat neutral. But when you mix it in with different shadows, it pulls off the undertone of the shadow. I am then going to pick up a smaller brush, and I'm going to pick up this shade right here to really get into the crease, and then the outer V portion of the eye. I'm going to go back to that transition shade to blend the edges so we don't have any harsh line. And then I'm going to go and use that shade and drag that a little bit down into the lower lash line. I am going to pick up a little bit of this shade right here. I'm going to use the same brush. I feel like that's the only shade that doesn't really show up and swatch beautifully. And I'm going to pat that on the outer V to deepen the look a little bit before we put on the green shade, because I don't want to go in with the black straight away. And then I'm going to go back to that darker brown just to blend a little bit. We are going to pick up that green shade, which I am most excited about. I am going to use my trusty art brush, which I love to pick up this types of shade. So this is that green shade right here. It picks it up quite well. We'll just have to see how that performs into the eye. I might have to try my finger because the brush is not cutting it. I've never been this excited about a specific shade, especially in a drugstore palette. I want to lighten it up a little bit, so I am going to pick up this shade right here with my finger and pat that just in the middle to have a little bit of depth. So I'm going to go back to the brush that we used before with no added product, just to blend. And for the lower lash line, let's try this purple right here and pop that all over. And for the inner corner highlight, I am going to go and use this shade right here. Everything blended so smoothly. The only thing that I don't like about this eyeshadow palette is this shade right here. For some reason it swatches quite sheer and it doesn't really like give me that wow factor. And it's quite too sheeny for my liking. I'm going to use the black shade because we have not tried the black shade yet. So I'm going to pick up the black in this palette and I am going to use that to tightline my upper lash line. I typically don't like trying on mascara, but I have read a lot of good reviews about this mascara. So this is the Organic Wear. I believe this is the new packaging. I might be wrong. It could be a different type of mascara, but it has like 4.5 stars on iherb, so I thought I would try it out. The mascara that Tati loves, unfortunately, it only has like 3 stars, so I'm like, I don't want to get that because I might regret it. And also Physicians formula, it's quite expensive. So this is what the mascara looks like, and I got the shade Black Noir, and that's the one right there. Silicone wand, which I actually quite like because it really gets into all the tiny hairs that I have. So here is what the lashes is looking. I'm not a fan. I feel like this would be a great for more of a no makeup, but personally, since I have a heavy eye, I don't really see it lifting my lashes up, and also it doesn't really give me a lot of volume and length. It basically just coats my lashes. I'm not a fan of mascara. I'd rather stick to my Essence Lash Princess or any Essence mascara because honestly they're like one of the best mascaras in drugstore and they're only under $10. Yeah, I don't like mascaras. There's a reason why I don't really try a lot of mascaras because of this. So for the lips, I have 2 lip butters. So now this is also included in their butter formula. Here are the 2 shades that I have. So this has got an SPF of 15 and I have the shade Soaking Up the Sun, which is this one right here. So this would be a nice nude for me, that one right there. And then the other shade is Mauve into Brazil, which is a mauve shade, and it's that one right there. Oh, that's actually quite nice. So I am going to try out the nude first, and if I don't like it, I might use the mauve because I feel like that will match my lower lash line. That's actually quite pretty, and it's very smooth, very silky, and I love a good glossy lips. It makes my lips plumper and juicy. So I think I am going to put Moving to Brazil on top. Here's the two mixed together. I actually quite like them mixed together. Ooh, and it tastes good as well. Not that you would eat it, but here is my full face of Physicians Formula makeup. Overall, my thoughts, I really enjoyed the Physicians Formula makeup. I have tried Physicians Formula in the past, but the ones that I've tried aren't the best. I'm so glad that they improved their formula and they came up with a bunch of great products. I am so glad I've tried this, and I love the color story it has. It's quite different from what I've seen from the drugstore. Formula-wise, it's great. It's very buttery, hence the name. It blends out beautifully. I'm quite happy with the products that I've tried. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.